Mercury, the toaster and freezer combo. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. You'd think it would be the hottest, right? Wrong. Mercury has no atmosphere to hold heat, so one side roasts at 800 degrees Fahrenheit, 427 degrees Celsius, while the other freezes at negative 330 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 200 degrees Celsius. Has solid ground, so at least you can stand. Has gravity, about a third of Earth's. No oxygen, no water, no protection from deadly radiation. If you stood in the shade, you'd freeze. If you stood in the sun, you'd burn. Survival time, a few minutes. If you don't melt or freeze first. Venus, hell but with clouds, welcome to Venus, the worst place to be in the entire solar system. This planet is a runaway greenhouse nightmare. Its atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide, and the thick clouds trap heat like an oven. Temperatures stay at a deadly 900 degrees Fahrenheit, 475 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. Similar gravity to Earth, only slightly lower. Air pressure is 90 times stronger than Earth's. It would crush you instantly. Rains sulfuric acid. Yep, acid rain. Even robots can't survive here. Every probe we've sent melted in under 2 hours. Survival time, less than 1 second. You wouldn't even have time to scream. Mars, the best bad option. Finally, a planet that doesn't immediately try to kill you. Mars is cold, dry, and has a very thin atmosphere, mostly made of carbon dioxide. But it has water, frozen underground, and at the poles. Solid ground and manageable temperatures, minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 60 degrees Celsius. Some water in ice form. Weak gravity, about 38% of Earth's. No oxygen, you'd suffocate fast. Weak atmosphere equals deadly radiation from space. Dust storms that last for months. If we build bases with oxygen, water, and protection from radiation, we could live here. Otherwise, survival time, a few minutes before you suffocate and freeze. Jupiter, the gas giant of doom. Jupiter is a massive ball of hydrogen and helium gas. It has no solid surface, meaning you'd just fall deeper and deeper until the pressure crushed you. Strong magnetic field, but it's actually a danger to humans. The Great Red Spot is a 300-year-old storm twice the size of Earth. Extreme radiation levels, deadly within minutes. Even if you could somehow float in Jupiter's atmosphere, the winds would rip you apart at 1,000 miles per hour, 1,600 kilometers per hour. Survival time. You wouldn't even make it past the clouds. Saturn, the Lord of the Rings, and death? Saturn is another gas giant, meaning no land to stand on. If you fell in, you'd just sink into crushing layers of gas and pressure. Rings are made of ice and rock, beautiful but useless for living. Storms last for decades. Winds reach 1,100 miles per hour, 1,800 kilometers per hour. You'd get crushed, frozen, and suffocated all at once. Survival time. A few seconds before you become a floating human pancake. Uranus, the sideways ice giant. Uranus is weird. It rotates on its side and has a super cold atmosphere. Gravity is close to Earth's. Atmosphere is made of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Temperatures drop to negative 370 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 224 degrees Celsius. The planet's core is barely warm enough to melt ice. You'd freeze solid before you could even say Uranus. Survival time. A few seconds before becoming a human popsicle. Neptune, the windy nightmare. Neptune is the windiest planet in the solar system, with speeds up to 1,200 miles per hour, 2,000 kilometers per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. Has a rocky core deep inside. Clouds of frozen methane make it look blue, but they're deadly to breathe. Gravity is slightly stronger than Earth, so moving would be harder. You'd get shredded by wind before you could even freeze. Survival time. A few seconds before the planet turns you into space dust. Pluto, not a planet, but still deadly. Pluto has mountains, ice, and a thin atmosphere that disappears when it gets too far from the sun. Has a solid surface. May have underground water. Temperatures drop to negative 400 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 240 degrees Celsius. Gravity is so weak you'd struggle to walk. With heated bases and oxygen, we might last a while. Without them, survival time less than a minute before freezing solid. So, after all that, Earth is still the best place to live. Shocking, I know. Sure, Mars might work one day with a ton of effort, but for now, we're stuck here. But what do you think? If Earth became unlivable, which planet should we move to? Let me know in the comments.